that way, when we do find ourselves going into those relapse, then we won't spend as much time beating ourselves up, and we can jump back on the bandwagon, so to speak. But it's a conditioning. It's a thought. Something may happen. We're getting close to our goal, and then fear sets in. Oh my gosh, am I worthy of doing this? You know, it's such a common experience. Not to negate what you've gone through, but it's a natural part of our rhythm that we'll start something and then we'll stop. It actually takes 21 days for us to create a habit. And it's usually around day 16, day 17, where most people fall off that new routine that they're doing. If they had continued for like another 5 days or so, they would have formed that new habit of the thing that they were trying to change. So that's an awareness, that's a thought. It takes 21 days to form a new habit. It takes 90 days for it to actually become a new lifestyle. So when you're making a change, one of the things that you want to focus on, okay, I'm going to do this for 21 days. No matter what, that's a strategy that you can employ. I'm doing this for 21 days. 21 days is what I'm committing to. And by the time you get to that 21 days, it's going to become such an automatic programming that you're going to want to continue. And know that if you fall off, it's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to remember that it's part of the process, and I'm going to just start again. How does that sound, or how does that feel?
Try it. I'll do my best.
So the other thing, when with having a blueprint or having a vision, is accountability. Oh, there you go. Teresa just mentioned it. I call someone when I have a relapse and they remind me of my process. This is a reason why we have communities, or why we have partners that we accountability partners that we can rely on or check in. Because oftentimes it's, I'm going to the gym today and I have my friend going with me. That's an automatic accountability buddy right there, right? Someone who is going to hold me. Hey, you said you're going to the gym today. What time are we meeting? You know, someone who can hold you accountable of the goals that you're setting for yourself. The next thing I actually want to talk about is our why for creating our blueprint. I mentioned that it was the loss of my dad that had actually pushed me into personal development, moving towards this journey that I decided on for myself. I actually had to start thinking about a strong why of why I wanted to do the things that I was doing. Ultimately, I came to wanting to create a legacy, not just for myself, but for my siblings. And in creating that legacy would be honoring my dad and the legacy that he created, which was us. That became a strong why for me. My younger sister, who looks up to me, that became a why. I started putting her pictures everywhere. I, in some cases, I've since changed them, but you can create passwords or affirmations with your why, right? So that when you need to call on your why, to remember why you're doing the thing you're doing, you can look at your phone and say, oh, there's my why. You know, you look at the picture of your child, your parent, your sibling, your dog, your pet, you holding up your degree, whatever that why is for you, you're going to find is what is going to pull you forward when you want to stop pursuing your vision. So having a strong why. And so I'm going to invite maybe one or two people to share what is a strong why for them, for their life, for the things that they work on, for the things that they desire to achieve. What's a strong why? Yes, Jacqueline, the why can also be revised. I don't know that I mentioned, but as I went through this, there's a revision date of Oh, revise further on in that January, February, March, a couple months later, it's gone through a couple of different revisions because as you move towards your goal, you will start to find different ways that you want to define your goal or different things that you want to pursue um, as you are on that path to whatever your goal is. So, who would like to share a strong why?
Greetings, everyone. This is Cheryl. Amelia, I'll share.
Sure, Cheryl. Thank you.
So, I love that you you can write down passwords and different places and different things that will draw you to what it is that you're up to creating. And it reminded me that when I wanted to leave my job, which I had a strong why of leaving my job, working from home, um, getting up when I finished sleeping, um, doing something that I was passionate about. And I did create in my passwords, I created something like leaving here by, and it gave it a date. And everything I did, everything that was related to my job, I created a password that was about I'm out of here by a certain date. And I didn't have a vision for how it would happen, but I actually had in my mind that when I left my job, there was going to be I was going to have a parade. I was going to get like a marching band, African dancers and drummers, and I was going to have flowers, petals of rose petals. I mean, that was alive in my head vision, and they were going to walk me through from my workplace all the way through the building down to the first floor and get me into this long stretch limo. And that's how I was going to say, see ya. And I was so passionate about that. So I would vision that every now and then and just get joy out of that, the vision of being able to like leave on that in that way. And again, like I said, I didn't have a clue as to how I was going to leave. I was too young to retire. But within about a year and a half, 2 years, all of a sudden, out of the blue, my job offered a buyout that I was of the right time and right age that I was eligible for. I jumped on it and left like my hair was on fire. So I just want to say that when you have a goal and a vision and you energize it, that the universe and everything in the world works towards pulling you towards that. So I concur, and definitely any way that you write it down and you get an emotion going about it, to me, that's my definite that's something that happened for me, and it manifested 2016 of January 2016. I left. I didn't go with the fanfare that I wanted to, but I left and shocked everybody with people's mouths to the floor, which that was good enough for me.
Cheryl, I am smiling so hard at you sharing your vision because, like, I felt it. I felt it. You know, what you said right there is a key towards us manifesting our dreams and our vision. The emotion that you attach to it, the emotion. When you, whether you realize it or not, you're giving emotion to either something you want or something you don't want. If you're thinking about lack, if you're thinking about, oh my gosh, this job is horrible, I don't know how am I going to pay my bills, you're putting so much energy and emotion into that space that that's what you're going to continue to attract. As you're talking and you're putting all that energy and emotion into what it's going to feel like when you leave and all of this, like, high energy emotion that just radiates from you, you're sending an even greater signal to the universe that this is something that you're passionate about and this is something that you want to see manifest. So in the background, in that subconscious mind, everything is working itself out to continue to attract that towards you, regardless of if you know how it's going to play out or not. It's working there for you. And it worked out in such a beautiful way. So I love that. Thank you so
So it
much
did.
for
Thank
sharing.
you.
So who's speed? I think I saw your hand raise.
Great day, great day. Greetings, Amelia. Good to see you. Wonderful, wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, so So I have this legacy building in terms of my overall goal was always to, okay. Okay. So I was sitting here trying to figure, when did this actually come into me? So the legacy is to really build a family business, right? But in the sense of having us work with finding 1 or 2 members or 3 that actually, quote, like each other and can get along and can experience the gifts and talents of that member so that they can work together and create this legacy. And I was just sitting here thinking, so this started to happen. So I used to have a children's business, right? And then my son has kind of taken it over and he's given it a new name, but it's the same business. We're using our songs from that and everything. And then I'm coming on board as Mama's Mission. It's like the elder in the business. But I was trying to think of where did this come from? And it came from my mother, who passed down to us in terms of the family, like, in your relationships, you can have any relationship that you have, always look for the lessons, but always keep what was working and leave the rest behind. And that's what I'm moving forward in terms of just building this legacy with the family. And then as the family grows stronger, we take that to other families so that they can build community, because community doesn't work without family. So that's my overall, that's the legacy.
I love
This is really great. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, keep what's working. You know, it's such a beautiful dream to create a legacy with your family. And it's one of the highest highest dreams, is to create a legacy with your family to leave for the rest of the generations. And thinking about it from the perspective of, okay, what is working well? And how can we take that and move that forward? And it's again that idea of, where are you putting your energy to, right? Because where you're putting your energy to is what is manifesting. So if you're putting your energy towards it working and how can we make it work, then that's what you're going to see in your results. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to do a brief experiential exercise, and then we're actually going to go into a breakout room to share what comes up for you. You're going to be in this breakout room with one other person. And what I'm going to invite you guys to share is this. I want you to bring to mind one area, one aspect of your life, of a vision that you want to create. It could either be a value, it could be a goal that you want to achieve. It could be, as Sahuspeet mentioned, around creating a legacy for your family. It could be your body, whatever that goal is for you. And now I want you to close your eyes and imagine it is January 31st, 2024. It is now 3 years later. When you open your eyes, you're in that place of it being 3 years later. And you have accomplished this dream, this vision, this blueprint that you have written for yourself. What does it feel like? What does it look like? What are you doing? How are you moving in the world? How are you responding? How are you walking? How are you talking? Okay. Think about those, and maybe take, as we're setting up the breakout rooms, let me just check in with my facilitator team. Are we ready for the breakout rooms?
We are ready whenever you are.
Oh, perfect. So I want you to bring that idea to mind. It is 3 years later, and you are now the person that you desired. You've accomplished that goal. You've bought the house. You're sleeping in the king size bed. You have your double closets. You have the car. You've achieved the goal. You've had the baby that you've desired. It's 3 years later. What is that like for you? And I invite you, we're going to go into the breakout rooms for 6 minutes. So you each have 3 minutes to share. And at the 3-minute mark, we'll send a message in for you guys to switch. Okay? Thank you so much, Naija. We're ready.
All right, beautiful. We're going to go ahead and send everyone in, and there will be one person here in the space with us to do the exercise with you, Amelia, since we
Okay,
have odd numbers. Is that okay?
that's perfect. And Facebook community, I invite you to do this as well. So type in the chat what that's like for you as well, okay?
All righty, here we go. You should be taken into the rooms automatically. If you are not, please select on your screen to go into the rooms. Thank you.
Naija, I think I still see a couple people here.
Yes, I'm trying to push them along.
Okay. Awesome. All right, we can work here in the main room with who's left, actually. Okay. I see Ia Robin, Shirley, Miss Shirley.
Okay, so I have a question. We have 11 people here in this room with us. Are we just gonna do a session here, or try to get those 11 people into other rooms?
I'm working to push those people that did not go automatically. In the meantime, what we can do is Cherie Sofas. I hope that I'm saying your name correctly. If you would like to do this exercise with Amelia here in this space, we can do that. Great. Thank you for agreeing. Amelia, let's have you go ahead and do the exercise with Cherie. And
Sure.
correct me on the pronunciation of your name. Is it
Right.
Cherie?
Yeah, that's why I put so many E's because people go charade like they watch one of them housewife thingies.
I got
So
it.
that's why I go Shariki. Good morning, goddesses and gods.
Good morning, Cherie. Get a chance to hear the exercise that we were doing?
No, please enlighten me. I'm excited.
Okay, so we're talking about writing a blueprint for your life. So
Sounds good.
so the idea is, think of an area of your life where you want to make a change, where you want to accomplish a goal, something that you desire to accomplish.
Mhm.
And it's now 3 years later, and you're in the experience of who you desire to be. So that experience is now 3 years later, whether it's owning a home, having a baby, accomplishing that dream job, it is now 3 years later. And go. Who are you? How are you living? What are you saying? How are you moving in the world?
That feels good. That feels super. Oh, okay. So you want me to describe it to you? Would you
Yeah,
like
go
that?
ahead and describe it to
Okay.
me.
I am beachside in Ghana, and I am sitting in a lounge chair, and I can actually see the cobblestone wall, and I'm underneath a it's like it looks like a palm tree, but it's very tropical. It looks tropical. Maybe it's not Ghana, but it looks like it is. Based on a video I've seen before, that I kind of transposed myself in this video of this mother. It's a mother, sister, Mother Africa, Mother One Africa. She lives there on that property. But I always see myself in that chair across from her. And I am comfortable because I'm feeling like I'm not worried about the transition I was worried about 3 years ago. I feel very comfortable because I've already established my my work in that community. I'm doing more voiceovers. I am my cryptocurrency is popping. My investments, I've sharpened those. Yes, I've sharpened those skills of day trading because I'm doing that as well. And I'm writing more consistency. In fact, when I look to my right, I actually see a journal there. And it's a journal that my sister friend made. She's a ancestor now, but she made she made beautiful artwork. And some of the artwork she did it had journals. She did journals. And I can absolutely see my pen. My pen is it's gold on top of it's. Whoa, that feels good. Thank you. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm eating, but yeah, it was really good.
I love it. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that felt amazing to just wake up, because I just woke up. I was like, oh, I gotta get on.
I love it. That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
I feel your energy. I
That
feel
felt amazing.
Awesome. 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 Thank you so much for sharing.
The most welcome.
Cherie.
Cherie, like we.
I love it. I love it. Adam, are you here? I'm wondering if you'd be open to sharing what your experience was like. Adam, I see Adam, I see Shirley, and I see Ange.
Let's ask if there's anyone here in the main room who is willing to do a mock-in with you, who's willing to share with you. Is anyone here that's willing to come off mute and share with our facilitator, Amelia? I'm willing to share.
Awesome.
For the sake of the community and our family there on Facebook, I'm willing to share. So let's see, where am I in 3 years? And I'm not sure how much time we have left. Maybe a minute or two. Okay, so what do I see? I see myself next to the beach. I'm living in a home with a huge open like pasture land. I have animals, and there are plenty of wildlife that surrounds me. And right down the incline, there's a walk down to a nice beach setting. It's not a private beach, but my property is situated in such a way that it appears to be a beach that's all mine. I wake up in the morning, get to walk on the beach, walk in nature. Being from the islands is something that I've always loved. So, oh yeah, and I have a really nice car, Maserati. I have my Maserati. Yeah, and it's a dark blue with peanut butter interior. And it's the Maserati, I think it's the Cabriolet. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's a topless Maserati. It's hot.
Oh, that is awesome. That sounds so
yeah. And of course, there are a lot of I'm somewhere in the islands because I got fresh fruit in my yard. I got mango trees, banana.
I'm coming.
All
I want some, John.
I'm
Come
coming,
take.
John.
You can come and pick your own fruit if you like. It's an open yard. It's enough for everybody.
I will love it.
Awesome.
Also, that's beautiful. And I would also just like to say that we have avocado trees and mango trees in California. So it doesn't need to be an island.
Yes, but I am on the island. I've had my 18 years in California. It's time to go back home.
Oh my gosh. Well,
I'll
thank
come to California too, no problem.
Nice. Thank you both, Cherie and John, for sharing your wonderful vision. I feel it for you. And I feel the excitement, the absolute excitement in your voice with that. So thank you so much. All right. I think we are all back. Thank you, everyone, for participating in that wonderful experience exercise. We had a, I love it, Purple. That was awesome. I'm actually going to acknowledge that it's 5 to the hour. And I say 5 to the hour because it's 4:55 where I am. But it's 5 minutes to the hour. And I know some people have to leave at the top of the hour. So I just want to say thank you very much for participating and being here. I'm loving seeing all the responses, and we're going to take some time to unpack some of that. Yes, so I just want to say thank you for those who have to leave. It's been an absolute pleasure. And for those who can remain, we're going to go ahead and just unpack some of what you guys discuss in your breakout rooms. My contact information is below if you guys need to reach out. On Facebook, it's Amealya Blake. On everywhere, it's Amealya Blake. Make it easy. AmealyaBlake@gmail.com is my email address. Thank you. All right, so can we get a couple shares of what that experience was like for you? And before we actually go into, oh, Purple, thank you. 1 second, Purple. Before we actually go into share, I realized that I forgot to share this quote with you all. And this quote is going to come back to us again a little bit later. And the quote is from Napoleon Hill, one of my absolute favorite all-time teachers, guides, gurus, is whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. I'm going to repeat that, or I'm going to invite someone to put that in the chat. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. This is all that we've been talking about today. Whatever you write and create and conceive in that blueprint, as long as you believe it, you can achieve it. All right, so remember that quote. We're going to come back to it a little bit later. All right, Purple, go for it.
Good morning, everyone. So when we were sent to the breakout room, I was about to work on the same areas that I always work on in life, and I get the results I want in those areas, right? And the universe so had it that I was in the breakout room for about 2 minutes by myself. So that opened up that I could keep working on the same areas and be alone. And that hit. And was like, I keep avoiding prioritizing a loving relationship, a long-term relationship with a partner. And I was like, man, I knew I wanted to take that on, but I was like, no, I ain't doing that. Whatever. I'm good. And that time alone was like, no, like, who am I going to share the goal with? You know, who am I going to grow with? Like, I have to stop doing this. And so then Aya came in. So I wasn't alone anymore. And Aya told me what her name means, which is joy. And so I listened to Aya's, and it's so interesting because where she's seen herself in 3 years, I then told her, I was like, yo, I was alone and I was about to do this area of my life and that area, you know, and I was like, until I sat there and I was like, yo, a loving long-term relationship with a partner, that's the area. And so when I seen that in 3 years, I was laughing. I love my walk. There was something about the way I was walking. And that seeing my walk helped me see that I was lighthearted, which is the goal I've been working on. So I didn't understand the lightheartedness opens up and allows love and the loving partnership to last. And I was like, yo, I be the one that's out. I don't know how to go through it. So she helped me see that it's like I can have it all. And with a partner, it can be with joy instead of like this working on joy while I'm alone. It's like, no, joy while I'm with my loving long-term partner.
Oh, I love it. And like Terry says, yeah, to that walk, Purple, from not having actually met you, but feeling the energy of you, feeling the energy in the chat, hearing your conversation, your thoughts, is someone with a beautiful, beautiful walk. You can tell you have that presence. And to hear the dream of what you desire for yourself, it's that awareness that you're not going to be walking that walk alone. It's there for you. It's there for you.
Thank you. So Napoleon Hill, just believing, and thank you again for this. Thank you, Aya.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, Robin, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, thank you. I was actually Purple's partner. And what I heard when I fell asleep was, I see E.I. Robin. And I was like, oh shit, what happened? So I didn't even know what the assignment was. But when I got in the room with Purple, she was telling me that she was alone for a while. And I was like, wow, I'm sorry I fell asleep. My revelation is that sleeping is also symbolic of, procrastinating, and sleeping is symbolic of stagnation. And I always go to goals for spiritual and goals for profession. And so when she said that she was going for something different and what she had reflected on while she was in the room alone, I reflected on, also the things that I don't focus on when I set goals. And one of them is health and well-being. And so, that's the goal that I chose. And Purple asked me, so what does that feel like for you? And so for me, I had to think about it for a second, but what it feels like is to be free. Like I am going for joy this year, that my name means joy. It means joy returns actually. And so, optimal health for me is I painted a picture of me flying in the air. So my arms are out, my legs are spread like in a split. I'm like jumping up high. Like I actually have that on one of my vision boards, just free flowing. Like I could jump up in the air like ah. And so that's joy to me. That's feeling free, and that's joy. And that feeling is unburdensome. It's allowing me to somebody will breathe. That's the word. I breathe lightly, and I am the light that feels light. So that's what optimal health is for me, and well-being. And I shared a goal with uh, Purple to not be alone, to attract my divine right mate. But it brought up also that I can start anywhere with the goal, and it can manifest joy wherever I go. So I wanted to share that. Thank you, Purple.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies, for your beautiful, beautiful shares. Oh my goodness. I'm definitely seeing and holding space for the vision for you and with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm loving this. Anyone else who would like to share? What came up for you? Um, is that Laura? Laura Clark?
Laura, you can unmute.
Thank you. Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much, Amelia. This is so powerful. I was in the room with Denise, and it's really powerful how spirit can bring you whatever you need. Because I've been talking about redoing my apartment, blah, 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 but it's all in my head and I'm not getting anything done. And there it is. I ended up with a residential declutter organizer right, right when I need one. So this was just powerful. And I shared with Denise how I in by 2024 I would have co-created the community, a sustainable healing community with friends and family, and how I nursing called me when I put out in the universe that I wanted a job where I can retire in 10 years and blah, blah, blah. And it happened in truth. And when I went over time past the 10 years, spirit knocked me. I started to get sick, blah, 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 started to co-create stress and all this stuff in my life till I had to leave the work and go find healing, heal myself. And then my purpose was to serve humanity from the heart. And when just before COVID, visiting nurse called me and asked me to work in a program where I'm now doing from home part-time, actually serving people in the NYCHA community. So at least I'm occupied at home. I'm not alone at home, and I'm actually really serving and walking in my purpose. With
Oh,
that, I'm complete.
that is so beautiful, Laura. So beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
My time in New York City was actually working for the Visiting Nurse Service of New York. So
Oh,
it just a beautiful, beautiful organization, whichever visiting nurse organization. The work that you do, that you're called to do, that a service that you're able to provide is beautiful. So thank you for gifting us with your service.
oh, you're welcome.
I see, thank you so much for your share, Laura. I see Keisha has her hand raised.
I'm sorry, I'm there. Okay. Hi, good morning. So yes, I wanted to just to mention, I was in the room with Amaduma, and we actually focused, we didn't discuss where we see ourselves in 3 years, I think, and I just think it was because we focused on how we are accomplishing our visions. Like we're actually doing it. I know, like you mentioned, we set visions and sometimes we get stagnant and we don't move forward with them. But so in Amaduma's case, she said, she would like to declutter. She'd like to declutter her home to eventually fix up her basement so she can accept clients and do more training. And but what I hold on when I heard her talk about her vision was she actually set an appointment with someone to come in and to help her do it. So she said she was looking forward to that, but she knows that decluttering is a process and she might have to just step back and let the person do her job. And it did take me, and then it gave me a good idea because I also have to declutter. And my mother, she was here for Thanksgiving and she told me I'm stuck because I have some things of someone else's that I need to get rid of. And she says, I haven't seen her. She was, she's always here. She's come every 2 years and she was like, the house still looks the same. You have to make a change. And I didn't even think. So when you said vision, I didn't even think about, oh yeah, I gotta get rid of some stuff too. So that was a good idea that Amaduma gave to me. And about getting someone in the house that doesn't care about your things, that will that would throw it away.
I love that.
Yes. So I really I'm gonna put that on my vision board. And I gave her my visions. I did there was the statement of a woman series event New Year's Eve, and it was to create a vision board, but it was a makeshift, like a handwritten vision board, really quickly. And I gave her my vision and how I changed one of the categories categories was to a fun, like was fun. What do you want to do for fun? So I said take a vacation, and um, I vacation, and I did just recently do that. A week ago, I went to California to visit my daughter, and I was determined that that was actually going to be a vacation. No, nothing else but to have a good time. Um, and then that was a really good trip, and so like you're in California, so I really know. Now I know what the weather, like you said, warm. Yeah, it wasn't warm. It was really cold, and it was cold last week. But yeah, I'm really glad that was my birthday trip, and that was the start of my year of traveling. I always say if my birthday is right, because it's January, if my birthday is right, then the rest of the year is going to be right for me. And I really believe that. And one other thing, I just want to kind of put in a plug for this place in Georgia. I was telling Amadou my vision for passion is to visit Brasstown Bald in Georgia, and it's a peak. It's a pretty high peak in Georgia, and comments have said you can go to the top. It's a short hike. Go to the top to reflect, to pray, to just be with yourself, be one. And that's been my goal for a few years, is to try. And it's just in Georgia, so I shouldn't have a problem. But like we said about visions, we always get stuck, and and we don't move forward with what we want to do. So that is my goal or my vision. I don't know when. Like I said, it's just Georgia, but I would like to go there, and I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keisha, for sharing. And it's not just Georgia, girl. It's not just Georgia. Wherever your desires take you is where your desires take you. I am really loving how many people are wanting to declutter their space. I will say, decluttering does so much for you on a mental, spiritual, and physical plane. When you are decluttering, if you think about it in the sense of you're single, you want a relationship, and you have this queen or king size bed. You're on one side, but on the other side is filled with your laundry. It's filled with all of your paperwork. It's filled with all the stuff where there's no room to put another person. So the idea is, if you want something in your life, you're having to let go of something else, right? You're going to have to clear off that bed space and make room for that person who's going to come into your life. If you're looking at your closets, you're finding stuff that no longer fits the image of who you are, but you're holding on to that stuff. The world can't exist in a vacuum. So whatever leaves, there's always going to be something that comes back in. So if you are looking at an area of your life that you want to welcome something in, you're also having to think about, what do I need to declutter? And declutter could also be, what are those unconscious habits that I'm still doing that no longer serves the person who I desire to be, the goal that I desire to accomplish? What can I declutter in my habits, in my thoughts, in my way of thinking, to make room for that new way of thinking that I desire? I shared about Napoleon Hill. When I started my personal development journey, there were things that I started to do. I started to listen to podcasts. I started to listen to books. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, became kind of like my second Bible. I would play it in the morning when I get up, as I'm getting ready for work, when I have any downtime. I was always filling my mind with the ideas and the thoughts of the person who I desired to be. And so those are the things that you want to do. What podcasts, what books, what speakers, what community will help you along that path towards those goals? I'm going to pause here because I understand we have some Facebook share, and I would love to hear some shares from the Facebook community.
Alrighty, so on Facebook, Cynthia wrote that this is inspiring, and I remember to review, update my list to check off the accomplishments and reevaluate challenges or add as needed. So true, fear can set in, but if we remember our thoughts and words have power, don't carry the fear of obtaining it more than you carry the desire to obtain it your or my way. And then Sister Niyamo shared her journey, and I am going to go there now. Her journey was, we have two actually. So Sister Niyamo's journey was, I am in Rwanda or Gambia and coming out of my abode, sustainable house and taking a seat by my pool. My guests who are visiting from the diaspora aren't up yet. They are part of a program I facilitate. Much more exchange among African family. It is dawn. I take a dip. I'm floating on my back, enjoying being to one Africa with, I don't know how to pronounce this word, but I'm going to try. Amakush too. I hope that was correct. And then we have another share from Benjai B. Her experience was explosive gratitude, bliss, benevolence, joy, humility, contentment in a severe new space, being fully expressive of self in all spheres, beauty and art all around, masks off, no apologies, yoga and meditation in nature, and by seaside with optimal self-care, cherishing this temple body, being of service, and in purpose aligned to business career, motherland experience, and other family travels, family gathering, and celebrations. And I am complete from Facebook.
I love it. Thank you so much, Charmaine. Thank you, Facebook community, for sharing and tuning in, holding on to those vision. I want to spend our last few moments together going back to the conversation of the tools that can help to keep us on path. Now, I've mentioned in the chat, and I see so many responses in the chat just about different books. And the Four Agreements I see is one. Start with Why by Simon Sinek is a great book too. The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Excellent, excellent, excellent books. I'm going to maybe invite, let's see, Jacqueline. Maybe you can share one of your greatest takeaway from Start with Why, if you're willing.
Sure. I knew you were going to call on me.
I love it.
What you brought about earlier when you talked about understanding our why and the reason why we do things. And we do it for many different reasons, but I see us as one big giant jigsaw puzzle with many unique pieces. And so each piece fits into the puzzle in a certain way. And when you start with why, and for me, why is divine purpose for all of us, which is to impart love and to be connected in unity. So whatever you're doing, you're working towards that why. We are all working towards that why. We have our individual whys, and then we blend together for the universal why. And when you find that connection, when you find where you fit in, that is one of the most beautiful things that can happen. And I have to tell you that coming to the Woo community has created, I shouldn't say created, but has helped me to find my why and to find where I fit in. So all those little goals and stuff that I had before, they actually do all work together towards my good. And the universe is always working towards my good. So when I relapse or had a setback, I just had to sit back and learn the lesson and move again. And that's what we all need to do. And I'm complete.
I love that. The universe is always working for our good. It is always, always working for our good. And if we can just remember that alone, then as Jacqueline says, everything becomes a lesson. Oh, what is this meant to teach me? I love when Oprah says that. Oprah Super Soul Sunday is also another one of my favorite like go-tos podcasts. I used to wait for Tuesday when the newest one would come out. So Oprah Super Soul Sunday is good. And I love what she always asks, what is this here to teach me? What am I meant to learn here from this experience, from this moment? What am I meant to learn? And if I just focus on the fact that the universe is always, always for my greater good, then even when something may seem horrible, there's always a lesson, something that you can take away from it that can enrich your life, even though it may not always seem like that in the moment. 2020 for me was a hard one for a lot of people. But what that year gave me was more opportunity to reflect on how I was showing up in the world, how I was moving about in the world, how I was interacting with my families and my friends, the things that I was taking for granted. It gave that period of reflection, of stillness. And in 2020, I earned my newest achievement, which is becoming a certified meditation coach. You know, so in the year where by all intensive purposes, our life shifted and changed. And it was a year that caused us to pause, literally and figuratively in all the ways. But it was an opportunity for you to say, okay, now that I'm paused, what is here? What is mine to do? And how am I going about doing it? Right? That was something that 2020 brought to us. Yes, so there's always, always, always a lesson that we can learn from even all the experiences that can seem so, so terrible. All right, let's see. Let's take one more share on another book or spiritual teacher or guide. I'm just going to remind you guys that one of mine is Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, and his quote, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. I'm going to ask you a question about that in another 5 minutes. So remember that book and that quote. Let's see. Terry, would you like to share?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I would say for me, one of the ones that I repeatedly listen to is be impeccable with your words. Because what you say out into the universe can come back to you. If you say positive things out into the universe, positive things will come back to you. If you put out negative things, then negative things will come back to you and the consequences thereof.
I love it. I love it, Terry. We live in a cause and effect universe. The things that we put out.
Thank you.
Sorry. Oh, I thought someone started to say something. Yeah, so we live in a universe of cause and effect. So what we put out, we get back. So why not put out good? Why not put out good thoughts of the things that you desire for yourself? If you know what you put out, you get back. Why wouldn't you want to put out abundance? So abundance could return to you, right? Why not put out love so that love can return to you? It is another secret that the thing that you desire, if you give that thing, you're attracting it to you in greater, expanded folds. So if you want joy in your life, go out and give joy, and joy will be returned to you. Just one of those things. So think about the things that you're putting out. What are you putting out to your ideas and your visions? Are you holding true to those things? Okay, so I see a couple, The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Shovel Shin. I would invite you guys to save the chat because there's some wonderful, which actually I'm going to do right now myself, some wonderful tools in there. Goddess Sister Iyanla, amazing. As a Man Thinketh is another powerful, powerful book. It's a small book, but the words of that book are so deep and resonate so well. And it's actually everything we've been talking about today. As you think, you're creating. So what are you thinking? What are you focused on? I will open it up if anyone else have a burning share before we move towards closing out.
Amelia,
Yeah.
this might be the perfect time for you to touch upon again what is included in the blueprint. You did talk about it earlier in your session, but the question was raised by more than one person. I'd like to, and I'm paraphrasing, can you share your blueprint? I have done a vision board, but what are the categories or grades or setup of the blueprint? So if you could share a little bit about that before we move to close, that would be excellent.
Awesome. So in your blueprint, what you're writing out first is what are the foundational values that you want to set your life on. So for me, I had trust, gratitude, and faith as just 3 of those ideas and concepts that I would desire to live my life by. Now, when you write those things, you're also not just thinking about it as just words that you're writing, but how does a person, let's say, who wants to live their life by gratitude, how does that show up? For me, it shows up as writing a gratitude journal, writing in my gratitude journal in the morning. If I don't get to write in it, I may record it on my audio. And I go through life looking for the things that I can be grateful for. And as we've all been talking about, when you focus on the things that you desire, if I desire to focus on gratitude, I'm going to find more things in my life to be grateful for. So your foundational attributes of the values that you desire to live your life by, that would be the first step. Then you're writing a goal. It could either be a goal for what you would desire your life to be, or you can take it in a bite-sized area. Maybe you want to focus on your family. Maybe you want to focus on your career. Maybe you want to focus on your personal body or a home or your finances. Now, I had a section for each of these areas in my life to kind of say, what do I want to accomplish in this area within the next 3 years, and then the next 5 years, and then in the next 10 years? And what skills would I need to develop to work towards each of those areas? So I write the foundational attributes, those would be my values. Aim statement or a purpose statement or a goal. For instance, one of my statements is, I have all the spiritual powers at my command to create the life I desire, as long as I hold true to all that is within me. So I know that I have the power to create the life that I desire, as long as I hold true to the things and skills and gifts that are within me. So that's one of my statements. So your statement could be, I desire to lose 25 pounds in the next year, or I desire to purchase a home by 2022, or I desire to have a baby by 2023. You know, what is that goal? What is that individual goal for yourself? And then, okay, you write down, what do I need to work on to move towards that? So if I desire to be a speaker, I join Toastmasters and I start to practice public speaking. I want to network. I join different networking groups or communities that can enhance my networking skills. So you're writing the things that will move you towards your goal. Any other questions around that? Yes, the Toastmaster. I love that.
We have one hand up. Familiar name, Shanna. Would you like to come off mute and share with us before we close out?
Yes, good morning, everyone. I was on Facebook, so it took me a minute to get over here. What you asked a question about something that someone says that you resonate with, and you were giving your Napoleon Hill statement. Something that resonate with me is actually Lisa Nichols when she talks about people who are in the space of not liking their job or not liking the environment and may want to become an entrepreneur, that one of the ways to think different is that your job or the current, whatever where you are is that's your current currency, it is your first investor. So to shift my thought process with my job to know that, okay, I may not like where I'm at, but right now I can use this opportunity to start thinking as an entrepreneur at this moment. These people are my first investors because they are paying me to do a job. And that's the same thing that I want when I become my own entrepreneur, for people to pay me. So even though it may be challenging at this moment to be in the space there, it is still providing me the tools that I will need for my own self. So I definitely resonate when she made that comment about who your first investors could be.
I love it. Oh, thank you. I believe me, I've had to shift my
Wow, can I jump on that a little bit?
Sure.
This is South Speak. Shauna, that was so cool. Thank you, Amelia. That's so interesting because when my daughter had her first job as a barista and she was going to Kane College, she came home and said, "Hey, Mom, these people at the job, they're crazy. And you taught me to be respectful and all this kind of stuff about them and everything." So I said, "Listen, love, listen. Use this job right now to learn how to be the best barista. Look at how all the departments are functioning. See, you know, you don't have to submit to their craziness. You don't. But look at how this whole job functions. What is your manager supposed to be doing? Okay, find people that are actually doing their jobs. Look at how everything flows. What time is it open? How do the machines operate? Like, learn everything about the job, because when you leave there, you'll know how to be the best barista, but you'll also know how to manage the whole company in terms of being how the whole system flows. Like, you know, we know there's some people that are mentally, they're not balanced out there. You don't have to be one of them, but learn to walk around it, you know, get those lessons there. Because she was like, the managers were like cursing at people. And she was like, "This is crazy. They're supposed to be my manager. What am I supposed to do?" That's okay. But now she's not there. And now, again, she's helping her dad with his business. So yes, thank you, Shauna. That is so cool. Love Lisa Nichols. This is
You're
great.
welcome. Wait,
yeah.
I had something else to add.
Go ahead, girl.
As you mentioned that, now I got inspired by what you said. The fact that when I was let go, to know that since I'm looking in that concept of it, they're an investor, that investors come to an end sometimes. Contract comes to an end. So when I'm let go, there is no hard feelings, there is no upset, because it comes to an end. And to know that it just means a new opportunity for me to go someplace else and find new investors. So that's also something that I share with others when they're talking about losing your employment. Yeah. It just means that you may not have been given the opportunity to, or you may be complacent where you are. And so now it's giving you the extra nudge, and exactly what Amelia is talking about, manifesting what you want, because you may be sitting there at that job like, I need a better job, I need a better environment, but you're still not making the movement for it. So the universe then does it for you by eliminating the job so that you can find someplace else to go. And sometimes we don't get to look at it in that aspect, that the universe is actually answering what you want. You just may not have given specific information. And so it happened this way. And we're thinking about, oh my God, how could they let me go? They don't know how great I am. And it's like, no, probably perhaps you may have forgotten how great you are because you're sitting in a place where you're complaining rather than making the extra steps for really giving the universe what you really want, saying, hey, I want this job at the biggest, like you were mentioning, barista. So give me a place that will make me a manager in that aspect. Be specific with what you're manifesting. So it's so important to know that it will come to an end and you just have to find someplace new to go. And I'm complete.
I love it. Both valuable gems, Shanna and Sahuspeet. Excellent, excellent. Just so much can be unpacked in that alone. Just the idea of yes, I see what's coming through. So much of how we think about our mindset of how we think about a job, right? One, the things that that you find are your pain points in that job. If you learn a solution to that, you can go to another job and have that be the solution that you bring with you. So there's always opportunities. If you, as you both mentioned, this job that you may not like in that moment, it's your investor. It's allowing you to put food on your table, have a roof over your head, drive the car that you drive. So there's still value in it, even if it's no longer where you have expanded yourself to be. That's just a push that maybe you need to expand your talents in another area or find something that's in more alignment with you. But it is your current investor. So treating it as such will make welcome that new thing that you would move towards. Excellent, excellent. Okay, guys, I'm like so over time. This has been an awesome, awesome conversation. I see your request for part two. That might be another future session. So thank you. I want to bring back to mind my special offer. So the first person, and I know we're going to be moving towards closing out, but the first person.
Amelia, 1 second before you go ahead.
Sure.
Can we just have our admin pull up the closing slides and we can go through that?
Okay. Can we see the blueprint? Yes, I'd be happy to send that out, Jacqueline, the format for the blueprint. You can shoot me an email for anyone that would like to actually get the format for the blueprint. You can shoot me an email when the email slide comes up. It's just my name, ameliablake@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to forward it on to you.
Go ahead, Amelia, while I put up the slides, if you will.
Awesome. So I mentioned one of my favorite quotes by a certain gentleman by the name of Napoleon Hill. So my special offer today is going to go to the first person who puts that quote in the chat, or the name of the book. So there will be two winners. So you can either put the quote or the name of the book in the chat. And I see Teresa has already gotten it. I love it. I love it. So I see Teresa Scott and the other Teresa. I'm not sure the last name of the other Teresa or if it's the same person.
I received mine. I'm Teresa Scott. Thank you very, very much.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it.
And the other Teresa? The one that put the title Think and Grow Rich? Is the other Teresa here that is not Teresa Scott? If not, I will move on to.
She said she accept Miss Amelia. Her name is Teresa Willis.
Oh, her mic's not working. Okay.
Yeah, she said she accept.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Teresa Scott. And Teresa, what was Teresa Willis? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So with the special offer, it actually is discussing more how to define your specific blueprint for your vision, and also a copy, I didn't put that here, but a copy of Think and Grow Rich. Again, it's one of my favorite books. So even if you don't have it in your, I highly recommend for you to have it in your library, and you can share it with a good friend. So thank you, both Teresas. And my contact information, if you would like a copy of the blueprint, just send me an email at amealyablake@gmail.com. On Instagram, I'm Amelia_Blake. And on Facebook, it's Amealya Blake. Moving on to the next slide.
No problem. Probably just a little technical difficulty there.
Oh.
And we'll wait for Nigel to forward the slide. There you go.
Awesome. Love offerings. Now, in my vision board and my blueprint, there's always financial abundance. And in fact, last year was the first year that I started investing in stocks. If you guys haven't invested in stock or start learning about it, I would highly encourage you as a way of moving forward to enhance your financial gain. I have that as well in my affirmation. I'm a magnet for money and money loves me. And I encourage each of you to have that as an affirmation for yourself as well. Our love offerings and donation not just goes to the facilitator, but to the amazing admin team that supports us having this community. Today's code is number 251AB. And on Cash App, it's Spirit of a Woman. On Zelle and QuickPay, it's soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com. Thank you for all of your donations that support this amazing, amazing community. And coming up, join us tomorrow, Monday, February 1st. Can you believe it? We've made it through a whole month of 2021 already. And we'll be having Ia Robin share with us Praise Held Hostage, Self-Healing Through Poetry and Prose. On Tuesday, February 2nd, we have our wonderful facilitator, Dr. Jiwa Lee, on What You Don't Know About Your Heart May Be Killing Your Life, Part 3. So join us for both of these upcoming sessions. And our Wake Up Everybody schedule. We're on Zoom live workshop Sunday through Thursday. Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays is our longer session from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And Mondays and Wednesdays, we have a shorter, but just as fun-filled and information-packed from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. All Zoom live workshops that are streamed live on Facebook. Our registration link for all of the above, bit.ly/WakeUp our Facebook community, bit.ly Woo Community, on Instagram, Wake Up Everybody Virtual, on YouTube, bit.ly Woo on YouTube, and our email is info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. Reach us in all the ways that is there to reach us and stay connected.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for this session. Thank you for sharing with us your blueprint that we can all use in envisioning and acting out and moving forward to create the life that we see ourselves having. So now, community, it is time for us to unmute ourselves and pour back into Amealya for all of the wonderful jewels and experiences that she has shared so generously with us this morning.
Thank you, Amealya. This is Denise. Thank you so much. You're always so awesome.
Thank you.
We're
Thank
grateful.
you so much, Amelia.
Love you,
This was
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Amelia.
Amelia.
This was
Yay.
great.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
Great
much.
job,
You
Amelia.
Amelia,
were
great
amazing.
job.
Very powerful.
This
Opened us
was
up. Thank you
really,
for the
really
space and
great.
container of the spirit
Yes, Laura, I
and
did.
your energy. Thank you.
Family, I love you.
Have a
Thank you.
beautiful day,
Thank you.
sweetie.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Move my neck. Move my neck.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm re-energized. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Amelia.
Yes.
La, 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 whoop, whoop, Amelia. La, 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 whoop,
Thank you,
whoop.
Amelia.
Thank you. Thank you for manifesting. Thank you for your peace and love mindset. Thank you for reminding people president.
Thank you, Madam
Thank
President.
you for sharing your journey, Amelia. Thank you for all the
Thank you for
tools.
all
Thank
your
you for the
comments.
bluepoint.
Thank you for all
Thank
for
you
the
for your
contribution.
positive energy. Thank
Everything
you
was
so
contributed.
much. This was a great
We
share.
appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Great way to
Send
start.
love and light
Light,
to you.
spirit, generosity,
Make you feel
and
better
all the love that
today.
you have for this community.
Now that you've seen the
La, la,
vision and
la,
what
la,
you
whoop,
really
whoop,
want to live
yeah. La,
for.
la, 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 whoop, whoop, Amelia.
I love your screen.
Ooh, Lord.
Thank you,
Beautiful,
Supreme Sweet, for
beautiful.
your song.
Love you,
Have an
Lord.
awesome, awesome
Love you,
Sunday.
Jack. Love you,
Love you.
Teresa.
Love you,
Love you,
Amelia.
Blue. Love you, Robin. Love you, John. Love you, Amelia. Love you, community.